Okay, so the next video talking about feed trees and how I've used them over the years is your actual setup. I didn't cover that yesterday. I just covered the 4 things that make me really excited. So let's talk about how to actually hunt those feed trees. So the first question that you have to ask yourself, even if it's a fantastic smoking hot feed tree, is can I get in there without them knowing that I'm there? Because if the deer know that you're there, forget it. Don't hunt it. You can put a trail camera on it, but do not go in there and blow those deer out. Try to find something on the outside and be efficient, because if you go in there, you're going to change everything they're doing. So number 1 is access. Can you get there without the deer knowing that you're there? And that is really important, even in the early season when the deer are fresh. You know, the first week of the season, I'll take the first week in North Carolina over any week in the rut. There are bigger deer on their feet, and they're going to make mistakes more than they will any other point in the year. But if you go trouncing in there and you blow that up, then that changes really fast, obviously. So number 1 is access. Can we get in here? From this location, this is the tree that I know that I want to hunt. We have a lot of wests and northwest that time of year, which lends itself to this tree and me being out of the way. So number 1, my access is I'm going to slip up over this hill. I'm going to make a beeline to the bottom of the tree, and I'm going to get straight up the tree. I'm not going to mill around the tree. I'm not going to sit there and fiddle with stuff on the ground, and I'm not going to walk over there and check that, right? I do not want my feet over there. My access says I want to get to the tree, and I want to get up the tree and get ready. The other thing about that, and the reason I say quick like that, is these deer are typically bedded within 100 yards. So they will come in throughout the day, and they can really catch you off guard if you're just gomming around. That's a mountain word. That means just piddling, taking your time, not really doing anything. That's your mountain word for the day. So don't gom. Get up the tree and get ready, because they could come in at any time. On that note, access, think about your feet. Do not put your feet anywhere near that drip line. Those deer are going to mill all the way around and hopefully give you a shot. But if your boot tracks, and I don't care, you know, take this to the bank, and I'm sure there's some company that would cringe to say this. There's no product on the market, and there's no magic boot on the market that will stop your feet from getting you in trouble. If you put your feet in that drip line, you're going to blow your hunt up, and you can take that to the bank, and I don't care what the Outdoor Channel will tell you, that's going to happen. So don't put your feet anywhere near where a deer is going to be. And in the situation where you have to, walk through somewhere that you can already shoot to. So if I have to put my feet there, make sure it's somewhere that I can shoot to, and I remember where my feet were, and get ready to shoot before they get to that situation. On the drip line, remember that these deer are going to mill and they're going to move around. They don't typically just stand there. They typically move around everywhere. Now, of course, mature bucks are different critters. They're more slow and cautious, specifically this time of year. But if you're just out there hunting deer, remember the shot could be anywhere in the drip line, so make sure that you're prepared for that. Number 3, pay attention to which side of the tree is facing the sun. As you see on this one, the limbs are more out on this side because it's wide open sky over here. That stands to reason that there's going to be more acorns on this side. So as a bow hunter, I want to shoot to this side as opposed to that side. Number 1, the wind's better, but number 2, there's going to be more acorns, and that's where they're going to end up, and they're going to mill more. But when you're a traditional bow hunter, you want any advantage you can get, and you want to think about things like this tree right here. Super important. When these deer are walking this edge, most of the time they're not going to crawl through that mess. I'm not saying they can't or they won't, but most of the time they're not going to crawl through that mess. They're going to walk around it. So you can see there's a bunch of tracks in the mud right here, and that's right below my tree. So keep that in mind. When I'm getting to the tree, I'm going to keep my feet away from that, but I'm also going to be ready to shoot in that location. That's like a little micro funnel. I don't know if that's a term or not, but it seems like it makes sense. You can use funnels in a feed tree the same way you would in the rut, because the deer are going to be deer when it comes to moving around. So if there's something like this log, use it to your advantage, specifically as a traditional bow hunter, because you want to get them close. The last thing I'll say about these feed trees is I am not afraid to be aggressive in the first week of the season. And I know the Outdoor Channel is going to tell you something different, and I know that the Insta heroes are going to tell you something different, but when bucks are on they will be on their feet doing things in daylight more often that first week of the season than maybe the rest of the season. Yes, everybody loves the rut, but that first week of the season, they have no idea what's going on, and you can bet your hind end that I will do some high risk, high reward type things in that first week, knowing that things are about to change anyway. When the woods change in a few weeks, they're going to be in a different pattern. You're going to have to refine them. They're already going to be educated. There's going to be a lot of things change anyway. So why not take the advantage that you have and try to get in there and make it happen while you can? So I will take risk and get in there tight to bedding, get in there and do those things. because I know that they haven't been messed with all summer, and I know that this might be my only shot, because when they move, they may not even be on this property anymore, right? So I want to take the opportunity while it's there, and I'll take the chance of blowing something out and boogering it up over not getting any chance at all. Because if I sit at home and just watch my cameras and be like, oh man, I just don't want to mess it up, I don't want to mess it up. Listen, you can't eat pictures. That, you know, trail camera is a trail camera, and that's all it is. You got to get in there and be the trail camera and get the opportunity, because if you don't, you're not going to get the deer anyway. So I will be super aggressive during the first week of the season, and I know somebody in the comments, because I just love comments these days, somebody in the comments is going to be like, that's reckless, that's dumb. Whatever, man, it works. I promise you it works. And if you go throughout the years, you will see we've been super successful in the early season, more so than even any part of the season. And a lot of that is because it was high risk, high reward. We got in there tight to bedding. We got in there with a wind that we knew was in their favor, and we were just off, or we used the wind to get them to work in, whatever it is, and we made it happen. So don't be afraid to take that risk, and failure is the best learner. If you mess up, you mess up. It's still an experience. You still learn from it, and you're going to get better tomorrow for it. I'm going to keep scouting. I hope you're scouting, because it's almost here. Man, oh man, oh man. Fall 25, here we go.